Good time of day, guys! My name is Godzi, and welcome back to another episode of Wonderful Everyday Knockin' on Heaven's Door. Last episode, Tomosane made it to work, and the conversation moved from science and philosophy to making fun of Yuki's dad for some reason, which was weird. Very weird. Considering a lot of the, as was pointed out to me in a comment last episode, unintentional themes of this game, which, yeah, they probably are unintentional, with how, technically speaking, Yuki, Takuji, and Tomosane all shared a body, and Yuki, as was pointed out to me in the comment, was, and I do vaguely remember Takuji saying this, was, or maybe I was told in another comment, was essentially everything he wanted to be. So, that's a theme they could have went for, but they did not, which is fine. You don't have to go for that theme, but then, I mean, you turn around and you make fun of frickin' Toshio in your epilogue that you made for your anniversary version of your game, and that's odd, but whatever. I can look past it. I can look past it. It was a very small group. Very small moment. I don't really care too much. It's not like Toshio was a super major character in the main game anyways. So, yeah, and it's not like we're supposed to look at him with derision or anything. Like, so I'll just take it in the best faith possible that Tomosane and Yuki are a little strange in their takes, but hell, not unlike a lot of people in the world. So, yeah. And as I was also told in the comments, visual novels aren't exactly the best medium at getting LGBT issues right, and that Umineko is very much so an outlier, which, yeah, that's disappointing, but oh well. I mean, those aren't the only kinds of stories that exist in the world, and hell, most stories don't even include them at all, so yeah, it doesn't mean the medium is bad, it just means a lot of the people who write in it don't necessarily get everything right, which is fine. But yeah, one other thing that I was told in the comments last episode was about the mass suicide event. I completely misremembered what it was. I had assumed, well, it must be about Zakuro and the other two girls whose, I believe their names were, one was Usami. I don't remember the name of the other one. Whatever. I think it was like Coco something. I don't remember. But yeah, I thought it was about that. It was not. It was actually referring to the event at the end of the It's My Own Invention chapter, where a bunch of students jumped off the roof, the N-Sky incident. So, oh yeah, completely forgot about that event somehow. My bad. But yeah, they also said, as I expected in the episode, that since Takuji, Yuki, and Tomosane share a body, to normal people, Tomosane was behind it. That's quite a thing to overlook, though, when you're hiring somebody. Or rather, to look past, not overlook. But, hey, I mean, people do in fact change. That is reasonable. Tomosane very reasonably could have gone from such an unhinged dude in high school that he convinced at least a few dozen, I forget how many were involved, a few dozen, if not more, students to jump off the roof of the school building at night and kill themselves and grow up to be a well-functioning adult. That can totally happen, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter. I completely forgot about that event somehow, though. Even though it was a pretty pivotal thing that even resulted in a major character death, or I guess technically major. She was portrayed as major, at least. I don't think we have the fucking screen that we did have, but Kimika died there, and I completely forgot about that because the game was told out of order, and she showed up in the very next chapter, Looking Glass Insects. I don't remember if she showed up anywhere else. I don't think she did. I mean, yeah. Either way, it's just shocking that I completely forgot about that event, because it was pretty important and very theatrical from what I remember, but yeah. Anyways, from what I've been told, this is probably going to be the last episode of Knockin' on Heaven's Door, and I'm just hoping that it doesn't turn into an H-scene, but if it does, we'll deal. I'll censor if I have to, which if an H-scene happens, I'll definitely have to, but yeah, let's see what they've got in store for this last part. Let's read. I left work at the usual time. I still had leftover work to do, but I didn't feel like hanging around in the office. Come on, Tomosane. Why are you so upset? I was still ignoring Yuki as I speed walked to the train station. Hey, Tomosane. Come on. After I got home, I ate dinner and, ignoring Yuki, got started on the work I had brought home from the office. Are you fucking kidding me, video game? I'm not even taking chances with that. Oh no, we do have the screen. Okay, where is window transparency? Low would be correct, right? Yes, okay. So that way I don't have to censor the whole screen. Unless the CG changes, I'll just have to censor it as it pops up. For anyone who doesn't know, that's a panty shot. I'm not taking risks with that. I believe I did take risks with that in the original run of this series and a few other games like Corpse Party and whatnot. And nothing bad ever came of it, but I'm not taking chances with how YouTube is nowadays, so yeah. I get the feeling it's gonna devolve, but we'll see. Oops, sorry. Had to scroll up in order to actually get there, whatever. What are you so mad about? Do you really have to ignore me that much? Yuki pouted as she sat on the single bed. You've been like this since back at the office. Well, I'll have to separate from you eventually. So ignoring you until then is for the best. Why are you acting so cold all of a sudden? You're the one that said we shouldn't be together forever. Well, yeah, but I meant that I wanted you to find a new, real girlfriend. Whether I find a new girlfriend or not is none of your damn business. What's that supposed to mean? I'm just worried about you, that's all. You don't need to worry about that. What the heck? I'll be fine living on my own. I don't need anyone else. What are you getting so stubborn for? Oh, shut it. You can't stay with me anyway, right? If that's the case, I should just get used to being alone. Starting now. Like I said, it'll only be once you find a new... I already have someone I like! So why do I have to go out and find a new girlfriend? Don't give me that bullshit! Someone you like? Yeah, I wonder who that is. When you sit with your legs up like that, I can totally see your panties. It's distracting, damn it! Huh? My... panties? Yuki, can't read. Yuki's expression suddenly froze. Okay, don't fucking... After this whole day, you're embarrassed now? You're such a weird character. She covered her face with both hands. What? Just now? Huh? What? Yuki was acting strange. Her face suddenly grew bright red. You mean... She should have been covering her underwear, not her face. Oh, okay. That's... You mean... You think about me, like, in that way? No way. I mean, that can't be it, right? I'm dead after all. If that's what you think, then that's fine. I meant what I said. This is gonna be so obnoxious to censor with how often the text box goes down. But, whatever. Then, Tomosane, do you mean that you're actually seriously in love with me? Do I really have to answer that? Well, obviously, I'm super happy, but you know... But you know... No buts! That's all it is! There's no catch! So if you have to disappear someday, then I'll just live on my own. And I might as well start getting used to it. So just sit there and shut up! You're annoying me. Yuki completely covered her face with her hands again. What the hell? I won't disappear. I can never leave you all alone, Tomosane. Shut up. I'll be fine on my own. All alone? Yeah. You just want to be entirely by yourself? That's right. You'd be fine with doing all your own cooking and cleaning. You'd have to pay all your own living expenses too, you know? Well, I just assume you... Fuck's sake, why do I have to accidentally right-click here? I just need to keep my hand off the mouse. You'd have to pay all your own living expenses too, you know? I'd be fine doing all that by myself. But as you pile on the years, one day you'll be an old man, you know? There'll be plenty of people like that in the country by then. And you'll still want to be all alone? Even into old age? How am I supposed to know that far into the future? But yeah, probably I'll still be on my own. All by yourself. Isn't that what I just said? Even your sexual needs? What difference does that make? I don't know. It might make a big one. No, it wouldn't. Normally, you wouldn't react whether you could see my panties or not, so I figured it was no big deal. But when you said that just now, I got super embarrassed all of a sudden. Then cover them up already! But even if it's distracting, is that a bad thing? I mean, you said you like me, right? Even if I like you, you should still cover them. Crying sounds? I think with my voice the way it is right now, I can't even remotely attempt to make this sound believable, so I won't. She is crying. Yuki's face had grown an even brighter shade of red, all the way to her ears. Right. Even if you like me, there's still things I shouldn't do. Yeah, that's right. It's like you said, Tomosane. There's nothing that you can't do on your own. What was this all of a sudden? Why was she bringing that up again? Okay, CG went away. I heard a strange sound coming from behind me. It was like a buzzing kind of noise, like a smartphone set to vibrate. Video game, do you have to? Yeah, I guess they have to. Alright, well, I'm probably gonna censor the whole screen because I don't fucking trust YouTube. So, enjoy audiobook, Godzi. Anyways. At the same time, I heard another odd sound coming from Yuki. I'm not reading her line, she's moaning. She sounded completely different from usual. I mean, to be fair, the CG isn't here yet, so whatever, you can read. Yeah, moaning, blah, blah, blah. I turned to face Yuki. When I did, she was... Wow, great game. It's the same CG, but still, I'm not risking it. Huh? And she is, moaning, talking about how stimulating it is. Her legs were spread wide and she was holding some sort of vibrating machine in between them. Tomosane, an adult, somehow does not know what a vibrator is. What the? Is that? Yuki still seemed embarrassed, as she was half hiding her face with her free hand. As for why she's doing this, don't know. She said it's a massager for shoulders. Bullshit. Well, I can see that, but it was the kind I'd seen at superstores before. Okay, never mind, he does know. But instead he says, a vibrating device. But of course, in porn videos, they don't use them on their shoulders. Come to think of it, does anyone actually use them for that? Probably a few people. I can tell it's an electric massager, but... Yuki lowered her bright red face. It seems she still had a bit of shame left in her after all. She looked back up and gave a strained smile. She's saying that if Tomosane's gonna take care of things himself, then she has to do the same thing. Which means, I guess if he's not gonna, quote, please her, she'll do it herself. That's such a roundabout way of doing this theme, but whatever. Talk your shit, I guess. Yeah, and she literally just explained it on the very next line, as I just said. Okay, but why do you have that thing? She's saying she thought she'd try to get him in the mood, and there were a lot of videos where they used toys like this in your internet history, and she thought it would turn him on. I thought I had wiped my browser history. Alright. And she said she found his internet history. She's moaning more. What she's saying here doesn't matter. Alright, she's literally just moaning. She's just moaning. She's just moaning. And now she needs to take a break. Great. Amazing. Amazing work, video game. Yuki pressed the power switch on the massager. She said that it's strenuous doing that. Yuki put her hand on her wet panties and began sliding it back and forth. Okay. She wants the lights off. Should I turn them off? And she's complaining that Tomosane watches uncensored porn. Nah, I couldn't come up with a defense. In truth, I don't actually dislike erotic stuff. Yeah, we know. But to force it on Yuki, who I love so much, it just didn't seem right. Yuki was such a sweet big sister, and I admired her too. And so up until now, I'd been as indifferent as possible when it came to sex. In truth, I wanted to see that side of Yuki, okay. But also, part of me didn't want to force the sweet Yuki Nason into such a vulgar position, like she was some porn actress. And so... Okay, I think she's talking normally now, so I'll just go back to voicing her. Tomosane, you're conflicted, I get it now. So that's what you've been thinking all this time. That makes me feel a bit better. I shut my mouth instinctively. Of course, that wouldn't help anything. It wasn't like I had been speaking aloud for Yuki to hear in the first place. It's pretty rude to be peeking inside my head like that. I can only do it once in a while, so forgive me. Just now, I could tell there was a strong sense of inner conflict. It was like a direct message. So... Yuki slipped out of her underwear. Is this a CG change? Well, I mean, yeah, but not really. Great. Then she spread her legs apart, which is already pictured in the CG, but whatever. And she's back to moaning. Even though she's not using the machine and she's covering her face entirely. As the line says, she must have gotten embarrassed since she covered her face with both hands again. You don't have to push yourself. And she says she's totally fine. I couldn't see her face at all, but from behind her two-handed veil, Yuki's voice carried a certain layer of venom. Okay. She's saying he can see everything, and he says, well, yeah. And she's back to moaning, even though she's, again, not doing anything. It was true, I'd never seen Yuki look anything like that, with her legs spread in the shape of an M. Sure, she'd spread her thighs when we had sex, but I couldn't get a clear view when I was that close to her. Yuki had never presented herself to me like this before. Alright, and now she's just saying it's embarrassing. And she's back to masturbating. Great. 3 tildes. That's her line. As she played with herself, maybe due to self-consciousness, Yuki's eyes began to swirl. Are you okay? She says she's fine. And she's just doing it in front of Tomosane, as she says. She muttered something under her breath, and then... Now her eyes are literally swirling in the CG. She says, you can totally see everything. You've never seen anything like this, right? A girl's never shown herself to you like this before. Ka. Yuki seemed to grow lightheaded from her own words. Are you sure you're okay? She says she's sure she's fine, and this is just the beginning. She's got a lot more planned, so this is nothing. She's totally fine. A lot more? She said she's prepared a lot of stuff, so she's definitely not gonna stop here. You'd better brace yourself. Even with her eyes spinning like that, Yuki managed to spit out something that sounded like a threat. She got the vibrator again, and yeah, she picked up the massager again, and with her legs still spread, pressed it against her clitoris. She's moaning even more. I'm not reading that line. It's talking about fluid. She's still moaning. She's still masturbating. She's still moaning. She's still masturbating. She's still moaning. And now she's taking off her dress. Alright, now she's talking about her boobs while still moaning. And she's 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 still moaning. And now the screen is flashing, so you know what that means. Alright, great. And she's still moaning. Alright, and she's slowly spasming less. She's breathing heavily. Alright. Whatever, they're talking about nothing important right now. They're just talking about, oh, you came? Whoa, what the fuck? Alright. So, how long is this gonna go on for? I mean, there's definitely things involved with the themes here, which is better than this game usually does when it has these H-scenes thrown in. Like, I mean, look at most of the ones in It's My Own Invention. Why were they real? There was like maybe one that made any sense. And that was the very horrifying one with the guys behind the school. The rest just kind of existed. I mean, the delusions are one thing, but you know. Alright. She's talking about his browser history again. They misspelled browser. And she's talking about her pussy. And Tomosane's denying himself while looking at her. She pulled out something else, a real vibrator this time. Great line, Tomosane. A vibrator? What are you planning to do with that? In your search history, there was also anal sex. Great. Alright, she's shoving the vibrator in her ass. Okay, she said she's gotten practice somehow. Tomosane said that they share the same body, so she should know what kind of state he's in. So when did she try using a vibrator in her ass? Okay, she's moaning still. She shoved the whole thing up her ass. Great. And she turned it on. That's something. Alright, she's still moaning. I wonder which vowel is in this chapter the most. I feel like that's a easy question. It's just A. And then she says, Kuan. That's spelled K-U-U-U-A-A-A-H-H-H-H-N-N-N with 3 exclamation points. I swear. How do people write this shit and then publish it? It's bold. It's bold, that's for sure. And it's not like there's 0 thematic relevance. But it's something. You definitely have to have confidence bordering on narcissism in order to write and post this kind of stuff. That's for sure. It's not a bad thing. Whatever. Alright. And white flashes again. Wonder what that means. Alright. The line says the strength left her body. So she's dead. That's what that means. Oh, wait, she's been dead. Alright. I mean, as she's saying, she's just trying to turn him on. And she made him come. Okay. Okay, it's changing to CG. She says, let's start with one. They're just gonna fuck, right? They're just gonna fuck? I'm not gonna read all their lines. They're talking about poop. That's weird. You're lying about having the cleanest asshole in the world because you're a ghost who doesn't excrete waste. It's weird. Great. Well, I mean, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, now... Well, they're not fucking. He's fingering her. Great. Oh, fingering her in the butt, even. Great. Fingers in his ass, fingers in his ass, fingers in his fingers in his fingers in her ass. What? I'm sorry. What did they just say? Okay, but if we did an anal skull fuck and I thought I had to poop, but then you came out instead, that might be pretty fun too. Tomosane says nothing. The next line, squelch. Okay. 3 fingers in her ass. Jesus fucking Christ. We've definitely got to take on that skullfuck thing someday so I can try birthing you. What? Oh, that's what... Okay. They mean the other kind of skullfuck, not sticking his dick in her skull. Him sticking his head in her vagina. Sure, because that's possible. I mean, you're a ghost, but that's not how that works. Alright, they're talking about having anal sex now. I keep on accidentally right-clicking. Because my fucking finger twitches. I do it all the time in every fucking game. I always accidentally right-click. No matter what game I'm playing. This is so dumb. Well, I never really cared for the H-scenes in any fucking game I've played. Granted, that's just this and Saya no Uta. But those, at least, all had story significance, and they're... Well, not all of them. But there weren't that many, because the game was, like, 1/5 of the length. Fingers in her ass. This is ridiculous. She's masturbating at the same time as he fingers her ass. This is so fucking ridiculous. Alright, now they're fucking. Okay, it's funny how the CGs... all of them were uncensored, but they have a pixelated filter over his cock. Because, I don't know. Great. Fucking video game. Man, wonder who the target audience is for the H-scenes. If you people are able to read this shit, that's fair. I can't. I'm just clicking through. My headphones were fucking busted for a second. It was only making sounds in 1/2. I feel more bad for whoever's got to fucking voice act this shit. They better get, like, overtime holiday pay rate for that. Like, Jesus Christ. How to be a millionaire from one fucking role in a video game. It's even weirder because, like, this is a fan translation, right? I believe it's a fan translation. So then... who fucking used the thesaurus for every synonym for butthole? Never mind, they used anus twice. And whoever fucking draws the CGs, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, flashes. Are you done? Guys! Mom, the heteros are fucking again! Alright, I'm just gonna click super fast. Okay, but are they talking about something important now? Oh, no, they aren't. They just said something about clothes. I think they're talking about the porn stars from what Tomosane watched. And they look like Yuki. Great. That's another way of saying that he likes her. Oh, Yuki's dropping the R-bomb this time. Wow. After fucking, she literally just calls Tomosane a slur. Yeah, that's wonderful every day, alright. Are they doing another one? They're doing another one! I'm holding down control until I see white flashes. Okay, I saw white flashes twice. Wow, we really fucked each other's brains out, huh? Okay, the CG is still R18. But I mean, it seems like they're done. I'm not gonna voice it until they stop talking about sex shit, because I don't want to just say ass, pussy, semen, cock, dick, balls in a fucking girl voice for 20 more minutes. Speaking of which, you really did have a lot of semen stored up, huh? You let out so much in both my ass and my pussy, I feel like my stomach's about to burst, yeah? Well, I guess that's about as much as Takuji would regularly let out using this body. Mickey Mouse X Goofy. I can't do a Mickey voice properly right now. It doesn't sound right. Oh, I get it. I see what you mean. Donald. I definitely can't do Donald. Who's another Johnny Bravo? Well, doing it a bunch of times like that seemed pretty hard on you, Yuki. Goofy, should we take a break for a while? What are you talking about? Didn't I say I could keep going forever, yuck? Well, I'm just a bit worried about you. Hoo-ha, that's all. At the end, you were saying you didn't want to come anymore. Then I stuck it in your hoo-ha. That was... I mean, you shouldn't take people's moans and gasps at face value like that. It's just one of those things, like saying it's too much when you're feeling really good. But you looked like you were in pain. Your hoo-ha hurt. I wouldn't put it that way. What, do you want me to spell it out for you, yuck? Alright. They're still talking about sex, but they're not saying cockball, dickball shit over and over again, so I guess we go back to regular voices. But I'm not uncensoring the screen yet. I don't know what's been on screen the whole time, but you're gonna have to still look at it. Audiobook of Godzi continues. I wasn't in pain. I was in pure ecstasy. Don't you know? There's almost no difference between expressions of pain and expressions of pleasure. Wow, back to post-sex philosophy with Yuki and Tomosane. I guess if you put it that way, they are kind of similar. They're not just similar, they're almost identical. I mean, that makes sense given masochism. I mean, come on. Jeez, I don't care what you think. If it seems like you've got too much semen stored up again, I'll be the judge and get it out myself. I'll get you horny and fuck you in a heartbeat. Yuck. Even by my standards. What the hell? Why'd you just sound like... yuck. That just sounds like something you do because you want to, doesn't it? Well, I do want to. I want to have as much sex as we possibly can. Yuck. Because I love you, Tomosane. I'll take care of your sexual needs for the rest of your life. The rest of my life? That's right, with my pussy, of course. And with my mouth, my ass, my tits, we can do whatever you want. My ears and eyeballs might be tricky, though. I'm not sure about my nostrils either, yuck. But we can do whatever you want, even if you want to come in my nose. Who would ever want to do that? I'm just saying I'll take care of all your ejaculations from here on. Anytime you need to empty your tank, I'll be there. The fact that it's turning more into an Obama voice than a Goofy voice. Shouldn't you put that another way? If you say from here on, it sounds like... Sure, let me rephrase. A wide smile crept across Yuki's entire face. I'll be with you for your entire life. Even if you get sick of me, I'll always be here for you. We'll be together forever. I see. What the heck? Aren't you happy? I am. Of course I'm happy. I love you, Yuki. So of course I'd be happy to be with you forever. Huh? Oh, right. Thanks. Yuki's cheeks went red. Which ones? Badumch. She probably didn't expect me to be so straightforward. The time I spent with you, Yuki, was the greatest happiness I ever knew. So, letting me go back to that time made me incredibly happy. Thank you for letting me go back, Yuki. Oh, sure. Yuki scratched at her face with her fingers. Hey, by the way, sorry I said all that stuff about you finding a girlfriend. That was... Really, I shouldn't have said that. Damn right. But you know, I only said that stuff because I wasn't sure if I could always be hanging around you. I didn't know if it was okay. A ghost haunting over a living person is pretty universally seen as a bad thing. I thought about that. So I started thinking, wouldn't it be nice if Tomosane had a proper romance with someone? No, not really. Sorry. Had an email, sorry. I tried to convince myself of that. I mean, I love you, Tomosane. And probably if I spoiled you too much, I'd end up being with you forever. And that'd just make me some evil spirit haunting you. And so Please, keep haunting me forever. I grabbed Yuki's hand. They're holding hands. Is that still too provocative to have on screen? Nah, just kidding. Alright. Welcome back to the video. Godzi audiobook / commentary track over. Until my very last breath. Please, stay with me. How much more do I need to say until you get it? It's not really a matter of getting it or not. It's just... It feels like I'm being selfish, wanting to stay with you all this time. No, I'm the one being selfish. Tomosane. Until I die. Until the very moment that I leave this world. Please, stay with me. They say until death do us part. But in our case, that will be the moment when we can finally, truly meet. I want you to walk with me. To whatever comes after that. If you'll let me, I'll be with you forever, Tomosane. I'll stay with you all the way to the very end. I gripped Yuki's hand tighter. I really will be here. Forever. Yeah. But you know, I can be a pain. Even as you pile on the years, I'll probably stay the way I am now. My sex drive won't change either. In fact, it might get even more extreme. You might have to curb that a bit. There's no way I can do that. I love you, Tomosane, and that's not going to change for all of eternity. I'll always love you. That's why I'm a pain. When you get older, you'll probably start to lose interest in sex for real. That won't happen. If it's with you, Yuki, I'll be able to get it up no matter how old I get. For real? Even when you're 100, you think you could do it? Do you think I'll be able to live that long? It's not a matter of whether you're able to. I'll be looking after you, so it's a given that you'll make it to 100. I see. You're my guardian angel, then? Well, that or an evil spirit. Whichever it is, if you'll let me, I'll be with you forever. Tomosane, is that okay? Yeah, that's exactly what I want. When I'm 100, huh? When I'm old and frail, I want to be living with you, holding me close. When my legs and hips give out, I want you to hold me up instead of a chair. And run down the road, carrying me to the 7-Eleven, because I need me a Slurpee. And I'll forever be known as the floating old man. And when I'm too weak to stand, when the only things I can move are my hands. Oh, he's aging into CG. That's mean. Of course, when that time comes, I'll be sure to hold your hands tightly. I'll always be with you, Tomosane, and I'll embrace you like the air around you. Let me put it this way. I'll always be haunting you, Tomosane, until your very last moment. I'll be there to hear your last words, and then I'll say this. Thank you for giving a dead girl like me such extraordinary happiness in this world. I hope you can continue to give it to me in the next one. Please walk with me to whatever lies beyond. After you die, I'll be able to lead you into the next life. When that time comes, do you think you might end up looking like you did back then? Back then? Yeah, back then. Back when I was still alive, with you and Hasaki-chan. In Sawaimura? Yeah. Do you think you'll go back to looking how you did then? I don't know. Wouldn't I look like how I do now? No way. I mean, I'm always going to be your One-san, Tomosane. I see. That is not creepy. We will ignore that. As I get older, Yuki will stay young. Someday, far in the future, when I die, the person I've been waiting for so long to meet will be there at last. Is such a wonderful life possible? Of course it is. At the very end of our life, when our very existences reach their end, this is what I'll say. Our lives were enveloped in happiness, and so we can walk on, even beyond this. Aw. That's sweet. You had that little conversation immediately after they fucked for 3 hours. Yay! Wonderful every day. Diskontinuerliches Dasein. I can't speak German. Is this credits or just a end screen? Aw. I will just choose to not think about the fact that those two characters have canonically fucked. Anime. I'd say never change, but actually please do. Alright. That was a sweet chapter, even though it had a lot of tonal shifts, but I suppose it makes sense since it was about Yuki and Tomosane's relationship in the end. That certainly makes sense. But the shifts between philosophy/science and psychology to flirting was something, and I say flirting very lightly. exceedingly lightly. Or maybe I should say it heavily. Flirting. Yeah. That was good, though. I mean, don't know what else I'd expect from an epilogue for Wonderful Everyday. I was a little surprised that it only covered Tomosane and Yuki. But to be fair, who's fucking alive, even? Hasaki? Just Hasaki? And she was at university, so it's not like there was any reason to plug her into the epilogue. Because, like, there's no reason they'd include Kimika in the epilogue anyways, but she's dead. Zakuro's dead. Kagami and Tsukasa never existed in the first place. And since Takuji's dead, no one can even perceive them anyways. Not to mention Tsukasa was literally just fucking Hasaki anyways. So who's that leave? Ayana, yeah. I forgot about Ayana. You know, actually, I'm surprised that she didn't make any appearance. And then there was also the blonde girl, whose name I don't remember, who I think was Takuji's model for Ririru. I don't remember. Cute, though. Minus the sex. Cute. It was a bit much, but to be fair, so is Wonderful Everyday. Wonderful Everyday is a bit much. In most chapters. But it's still good. When you just take it as seriously as the author wants you to. You know? Take it as seriously as they want you to. And that's what the story is. Sure, there's a lot of goofy shit. A lot of hard to take seriously H-scenes, like the bicycle one. But I mean, yeah, that's I guess how the game is supposed to be. You take it as seriously as the author would want you to, and that's the video game. And that's not a bad thing. It's not. I've seen worse. I've seen worse stories trying to tell an eloquent message without having their characters fuck in the weirdest ways possible. That's for sure. I've definitely seen stories flop even without sexual innuendos. So the fact that this story sticks the landing and is the same game that has the bicycle scene, there's something to say for that. There certainly is. Very solid. So, yeah, I basically said all my thoughts. Still, as of this point, I have not re-uploaded episode 33 of the original series. I will still do that. I completely intended to, but when I said in episode 1 that the way I had to get the episode back was by recording it on the YouTube player, I didn't record the game audio, or I guess the computer audio, the game audio, and my commentary. It was recording my mic because I did have a little prologue in there. So as I was skipping around the video, I completely intended to cut off my mic audio for the rest of the video after my intro. So I could just hear myself washing dishes, eating lunch, watching Among Us compilations in the fucking background. But no commentary, no game. So, yeah, do you guys want that version? Because that's not the version you're getting. I have to re-record it. And it's like an hour-long video, so yeah. I understand that there's really not much of an excuse for me to have not reposted it in the probably close to a year since the video got taken down. But yeah, I'm certainly going to get it back up there, censor everything as harshly as I did in this video. How, honestly, I'm thinking, as soon as the panty CG shows up, just for the ease of it, and not dealing with YouTube's horse shit, I'm gonna probably completely censor the screen there. I'll try to think of something nice to have on screen the whole time. Maybe I'll find a funny meme. Yeah. Maybe I'll find a funny meme while you guys listen to my 20-minute or so. I think it took about 20 minutes. But yeah, I'll have episode 33 back up soon. I'll probably record the footage tonight. Yeah, I mean, all I do is just leave my Bandicam running over the fucking video player until the video's over. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's it for Knockin' on Heaven's Door. It was good. Very good. So this is kind of a moment of parting from this series. This is a series I really appreciate for what it's done for my channel. It's my most popular series, without a doubt. The first episode of the series has close to 6,500 views, which is insane. That is so awesome. I feel like someday I should make a video essay or just more extensive review of this game, just as a token of appreciation. Because while I will admit this game definitely isn't as impactful to me personally as it has been very evidently for a lot of people. A lot of people love this visual novel, and that's an amazing thing. It may not have hit me that hard, but that doesn't mean it's without its merits, and it doesn't mean I don't care about it. But, yeah. It was definitely great fun. I did say in my recent update video that something I might do in some of my streams is replay games if I want to do a video on them. Sadly, because of the H-scenes, this is not a game I would be able to replay. It's not. At least on stream. And I don't want to do a separate YouTube series for it, because then I'd just be censoring shit all over again. But maybe realistically I could just do it audiobook format. I mean, even on stream, maybe, but that would take a while, and it's certainly not one of the first things I would do. Certainly isn't. But that's something I'd consider. I just wouldn't have the game on the screen because of porn. Even though I know where they are, I know where the scenes are, that is fair, or at least I know roughly where they are. I make one slip up and my channel goes kaputs, you realize. So I'm not sure I'd want to risk that. But yeah. We'll see. I feel like it'd be easier for me to reread it on my own anyway, so that's probably what I would just do. Yeah. Either way, that's it for this series. The series that will be replacing this one, starting and probably just being one episode. It's not really a start, but a little continuation. On the 29th of March at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be uploading... It'll probably just be one episode. I've heard it's not that long. The side stories for Your Turn to Die that came packaged with the Steam release of the game, which I have yet to buy, but I will obviously have to in order to access them. Yeah, that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. And then immediately after that, we'll be doing The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, which is one of the few Zelda games I have not played ever, but they added that to Switch Online, so I'll be able to get that. yeah, exciting shit in store. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode and this series. If you liked it, then be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, then fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.